Alright, the next story quest is The Feet of Gold, given to us by Aaronville, level 90. We are in the family ranch Urkopacha. Definitely going to be my last video of the night. Already feel like I'm not going to be able to pronounce or enunciate things as much as I would like to, so here we go. Cutscene immediately. And of course, there's no voice acting. As Wuk Lamat helped to demonstrate that the valley alpacas are wary of people, getting close enough to catch one will not be an easy task. You might have warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect me to wrangle a wild one? Aaronville kind of shrugs. Tobley says, with the proper saddle, we infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that soothes the spitting beast. Wuk Lamat crosses her arms. Wonderful, give me one of those then. He smiles. Have you perhaps forgotten we are a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, then you'll need to find a saddler and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you the equivalent of 10 pel in the thousands column. She's very shocked on her face. You mean 10,000 pel? I don't have that kind of coin. Converting to gil, that comes to around 1 million or so. Mayhap if we all pitch in, says Alphino. No, this is my feat to accomplish. I wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money, somehow. Tobley nods at this and walks toward her. In that case, he hands her something. She takes it and looks at it. That basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier. 1 pel in the hundreds column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for ever more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with for the saddle. That's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? That's 10,000 times more. I didn't do the math. Is she right? I don't know. Probably not, apparently. Aaronville crosses his arms and says, we need 10,000 pel, not 1 million. So we're looking at 100 times more. Oh, right. I panicked and got it confused with Alphino's million gil. Could have done the math, didn't care. It's not hard math, obviously. I'm not so sure about this trading idea. You were almost talked into buying a cloak you didn't need mere moments after you arrived. But I hate it when you're right. Then let me help you with your deal making. Sorry, that was Mobley or whatever, the female. Oh, hello again. Moblu. I work here as a wrench hand, but I have also learned a lot about the peddler profession. It's all right if I aid them now, yes? I guided the claimants towards the first step of the feat, like you asked. Moblu says to Tobley. Tobley crosses his arms. As long as Wuk Lamat goes alone to capture her alpaca, she is free to accept assistance from whomever she likes. Hooray! Let's see about getting you that saddle then, Third Promise. I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Welcome aboard, Moblu. Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? It may be easier to haggle over prices without so many voices chiming in, says Alphino. Yes, stay here and pitch in with the ranch work. With Moblu gone, I'll need extra hands to tend to the alpacas. Gladly? Gladly. Although, Mercy, I think you should go with Wuk Lamat, says Quirrell. You've seen markets and bazaars the world over, and surely have sage advice to share. I give her a nod in my dragoon outfit. In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. If it's misplaced or soiled in some way, you'll have nothing to bargain with. As if I'd do such a thing. But I'll leave the wool with Mercy anyway. The better to keep my hands free, says Wuk Lamat. Noticing the little bit of a jab from Aaronville. Hands over the wool to me. To begin... Sorry, hold on. To begin, I suggest we try trading the wool to Havli, the saddler. He won't agree to the deal, of course, but it'll give us an idea of how much he'll accept for his wares. This gets a nod from Wuk Lamat, and we're off. Cutscene, heading to black as we walk away. Give me just a second here. Right, we mount up on our Jazz Wolf and head east, and then when we can, I guess gonna be almost directly south, given how far east we had to go to be able to go anywhere south. Wuk Lamat and Mablu are talking to Havli, who is tending to some cloth draped over some like clotheslines. Cutscene. Havli notices us, turns around and looks at us. Something I can do for you? We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. Saddle, is it? And how will you be paying for it? We look to each other. With this basket of fine alpaca wool. And I hand over the wool. He looks at it. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. Hands it back to me. And what might that be? Says Wuk Lamat, with hand on hip. Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff and you've got yourself a deal. Mablu says, this bodes well for us, third promise. Such mezcal can be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. So 5,000 pels, what? Remember that. Hold on. Did you say third promise? Then my offer has changed. The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years at least. He grins widely. 3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Says Mablu. Because I must support the man of ambition who'll see my business prosper. Zural Jah will go to war, and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. It's nothing personal, third promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Goes back to tending his saddles, which looks like thin leather or cloth draped over these clotheslines. The cutscene goes black, and we're at a different kind of little cutscene with just the 3 of us. Can't say that I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring him more customers. Mablu thinks. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Pelu pray for your victory, Wuk Lamat. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still, others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the second promise envisions. They become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles that have made trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the first promise's plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit. But what about you, Mablu? Aren't you of the younger generation? At least a year or 2 younger than me, I'd say. Says Wuk. Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I've memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yakhoi ruled our village. That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn Servant, to keep our nation from going back to the way it was. Well then, I guess I'd better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mezcal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. Weren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed. We just need to get on with it, says Wuk Lamat in a voice doing poorly for her. I may not have a head for trade or the stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with the piece of Tuliolol on the line. Then neither will I. We will make you Dawn Servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pale jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration. So let's try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. I take a think of that. I get a flashback. The dark-skinned lion man who approached us on the trail comes to mind, apparently. And I tell this to Wuk Lamat. Of course! The weaver! Bolnak was his name, I believe. I thought he just bought a ton of alpaca wool at a discounted price because he bought so much of it. Why would he need more? He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision, and he was here to buy wool. Yeah, but he already bought a fuck ton. I think I remember the direction he was going, but for now, let's head back to that road where we first met him. Okay. Off we go as the cutscene ends. We head east, back the way we came. Go up the dirt trail where Wuk Lamat and Mablu are waiting at a bit of a crossroads of sorts. Kind of a fork. A fork that comes from Tuliulal and heads either toward Wachunpelo or south. Yeah, mostly south. This is the spot. After Bol Nok talked to us, he walked off to the south. Then he was probably going to Ikuvlo's Inn. Most visitors to Wachunpelo end up staying there. Let's go and check, shall we? Says Mablu with us. Don't cry to me. If you love me, you wouldn't be here with me. There's some cacti here and there, some tall and branched, some others short and stubby, some like looking like watermelon in their size. Wuk Lamat is here. Please pardon me for a minute, hopefully at tops. 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 1,000, 18,000. Gosh. How hard is it to get that one little packet thing empty? Okay, we are just a boot back. Wait, no. 05, you butt. Okay, continue by speaking with Wuk Lamat. This looks like well, I guess there's simply just an inn here and a stone wall around kind of like the courtyard that the inn has, and it's a big courtyard. There are whatever it's called when there are like 4 poles, P-O-L-E-S, poles, and a square or rectangular stretch of fabric, leather, whatever, kind of acting as a rain barrier on top of the poles, you know, stretch between the poles. I got an Ethernet. Wait, no, sorry. What are they called? Aerial? No. ether current nearby. So yeah, there's like an outdoor dining area with protection from the rain, but not protection from wind because it's only atop the poles. And there's a lot of outside dining. Now, there's some merchant tables here, independent merchants and menders. I haven't had to mend gear in a while. I don't know, it's like how infrequently I use it or how frequently I get new stuff, I don't know. But Bol Noak is talking to Wuk Lamat and Mablu. Can I have that basket, Mercy? I don't know what accent I'm going for with her. We hand over the alpaca wool. Thanks. Now let's see if we can turn a profit. Cutscene. Bol Noak, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? Third promise. You wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is all about? She explains what it's all about as the camera pans up. The inn is made of like stones stacked, you know, to make columns and arches, and then the inside of the building, like, you know, how stone buildings are made that aren't like, you know, mortar and stone kind of stuff. I see. So the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal. Then allow me to invest in your efforts. He's excited. Wuk Lamat's excited. Peace in Tyrol is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer that one pledge to preserve that peace win the... Naturally, I'd prefer that I'm trying to figure out the inflection here because I understand the sentence, but naturally I would prefer that one pledge to preserve that peace win the throne. That doesn't... whatever. Thus do I humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Hands over poncho. She's smiling as much as she can. Oh, that's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 tel in the hundreds column, says Mablu. That's very generous, Bol Noak. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. He nods. I have every faith in you, third promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. He gives a little bow and walks off. I can't believe you quintupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start, says Mablu. Only because Mercy remembered our weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool. That's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I know so. Now let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, Mercy, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Erenvel would never let me hear the end of it. Hands it over, take it. All set. Our next deal is waiting to be found, says Mablu. We both put like, excellent trade, alpaca wool, 100 pel for wool poncho, 500 pel. Success, you traded a 100 pel basket of alpaca wool for a 500 pel wool poncho. Cutscene goes black. We're back. Talk to Mablu to continue. Another cutscene. Why wouldn't it be?
Again, it's plush towels, okay? In the military, they made us...
Again, I pressed the earbud thing on accident. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense, but how do we know if someone needs a poncho? My options are they aren't wearing one, or they have a fabulous sense of style. Well, I'm gonna go with they aren't wearing one? I think we're meant to get this wrong. That's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy ours. Yes, there you go. We find the demand for our supply. So, where should we begin our search for prospective buyers? There are any number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the end. There might be interested travelers. All right. Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamul-Ja hardly wear anything to begin with. Those are probably Landsguard or sellswords. Mamul-Ja who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. So even if they have bared shoulders, Mamul-Ja carrying arms can be struck off the list. I nod, I guess. Mamul-Ja bearing soldiers. Or bearing shoulders. So I guess this would be hard-bitten Hubigo. That's a Landsguard, probably dropped by the inn to take a break between patrols. Had a shield on his back. Resting Hubigo. This one's already fully dressed, an artisan or peddler perhaps. Come to rest after visiting Watching Pello, like Bolnoak would be in my guess. Sorry, like Bolnoak would be my guess. Sweaty Dopro. That Mamul-Ja is armed. It could be a Dopro courier. I've seen them flying their wivers. And those types aren't fond of excessive clothing either. Disconcerted Hubigo. Let's see. No cloak, no coat or cloak, but also no weapon. Oh, we might have a winner. And then our cutscene where we are clicking on things pans to us talking to this Mamul-Ja. Ho there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or lack thereof. Oh, it was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tuliolal and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show the Pellu I'm a man who takes pride in his appearance and therefore his work as well. But now, look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. I hand him, or show him, or hand him the cloak. Takes it. What a splendid poncho. This would be the perfect replacement for the coat I lost. We'd be willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade for one of your fine tools, perhaps. What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself and will vouch for its quality. Hands it over. Wuk Lamat takes it. The blades look sharp. The blade looks sharp. The haft well made. I'd value it at 1 pel in the thousands column. Isn't that exactly? Wait, was that? Oh, I have 500 worth of cloak. Now this is double, right? Wuk Lamat gives a fist and palm. Oh ho! From 500 to 1,000, we have a deal. Wonderful. A fine garment such as this should put me on even footing with any Pellu merchant. Like the eponymous owner of Miplu's mate garden, for one, her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate, and I thought to impress her with a tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I am to have met you. And he walks off. Did you hear that? We've already found our next buyer. To Miplu's mate garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. Wuk Lamat is not super happy with that suggestion, but these ones will be the calm type, right? I shrug. Excellent trade. Wool poncho, 500 pel, for fine hatchet, 1,000 pel. Success, you traded a 500 pel wool poncho for 1,000 pel. Yeah. Already did the math. Not an idiot. I forgot what. Yeah, anyway. Yay, we get to turn in the quest because my ability to do accents and such is not doing good right now. We speak with Mablu to finish the quest. We have 3 alpacas saddled and ready. Well done in recognizing that toolmaker as a potential customer. If you've a mind to change professions, you'd make an excellent merchant. The feat of gold is complete. Quest totally complete. I'll see you next time.